Good morning. We welcome numerous manufacturers to IFS Unleashed. Throughout the 3-day event, there were multiple sessions that took place that highlighted the latest and the greatest of IFS Cloud. Throughout the event, there were common questions asked, which will be answered today in this video as 5 key takeaways from IFS Unleashed in manufacturing. I'm joined today by IFS's manufacturing experts Maggie Slovic and Andrew Burton, who will be able to answer these questions and discuss the common topics that were asked at IFS Unleashed. Firstly, we know that Smart Factory is a solution that helps streamline the manufacturing process. But adding to that, Angie, could you tell me the importance of the Smart Factory and outline how IFS is supporting this?
In today's manufacturing, manufacturers have got to get their response times quicker. They've got lots of things that are disrupting the flow of manufacturing. So they need to connect and know what's going on the shop floor, and they need to be able to react quickly to any changes in that shop floor. So what manufacturers are doing now is they're starting to look at what are their machines doing during the day. So rather than just relying on bits of paper and information coming back up off the shop floor, which isn't fast enough now, they need the data from the machines. So they're connecting their machines into their ERP systems, into their enterprise solutions. Traditionally, they've been able to plan their machine maintenance so they can understand when machines are not available. But now we're looking to be able to understand when machines are going wrong, or if they're not performing as they should. You know, they're not getting the output that they should for some reason. They're not making as many per hour as they should. So in IFS Cloud, what we've done is we've created this, we've had the functionality for a while now, but now we've brought it all together into a single screen, which we're calling our MES solution, which brings all of the information from all of those machines as they're working back into the system, so the system knows whether the resource, the machines are available. Now, some machines are too old. You can imagine that some manufacturers have got legacy machines that are very old, very expensive, and very difficult to make computerized. And what we're seeing now is that those machines are having sensors added to them. They don't give the amount of data that a new machine would, but it's still allowing the manufacturers to understand what is actually happening in real time on their shop floor. There's a lot of data to collect and a lot of data to analyze, and it's just running all of these machines all of the time. They've got to understand what that data means to them.
Thank you, Andy. It's clear that Smart Factory can provide numerous benefits and also improve productivity for its manufacturers. Andy, I'd like to come back to you and talk about the role of data. At Unleashed, you delivered a session on harnessing the power of data, which was one of the highest attended sessions of the event. Why is it important that manufacturers understand the power of data and what IFS is doing to support this?
Yes. If you can imagine now, everything is based on information received. You've got all of these machines running on your production line, and they're all feeding data back in. And you need to understand those machines are running as efficiently and as productively as possible. So the amount of data that's being collected is on the increase. There's just more and more of it being collected. So the session I did at Unleashed, it was really around, it was kind of a little bit in tongue-in-cheek, saying, why would anybody want to manufacture these days? Because there are so many regulations. There are so many challenges like supply chain shortages. There's the pandemic we've just come through. There's rising costs, energy costs. Why would anybody want to manufacture something? It was how I started. And then I started looking at the amount of data that you need. You need to know whether your machines are available, whether you've got the material for them. So that if you can imagine all of this data, it's just a huge amount of data that has to be analyzed now. Well, it doesn't have to be analyzed, but if you want to be effective, then you need to be on top of what data is coming in. And that amount of data can come from any source. And if you've got more than one application running, let's say you're running a multi-platform environment, you might consider putting that data into something like what we're describing as a data lake. and then you can pick and choose which application then pulls out. And IFS Cloud connects into that lake very easily, as it does connects to the machines. So you can then pick and choose the data you want, because you're getting much more data from the machinery than you actually need to run your business.
Thank you, Andy. It's great to see how data is maturing and also exciting to see how this will drive improvements in manufacturers' operations. However, Maggie, at Unleashed, we had several questions relating to if investing in smart factory will support with sustainability targets. Would you be able to comment on this and tell us how investing in sustainability can lead to improved operational efficiency?
Sure, Tanya. So actually sustainability is a topic that a lot of our customers are very much interested in. And what I think a lot of manufacturers don't realize is that a lot of the technology that they have already invested in serves to drive their sustainability initiative. So they don't really have to wait around. They can already take advantage of what's already out there. And to expand on what Andy was saying earlier with the smart factory, we really have now created new production advantages. And it's all about using that technology and the data that the technology produces to make more informed sustainability decisions. So for example, you could use the data to really optimize your resource scheduling, and you could avoid in that way over or under production of your machinery, or you could also use that data to essentially make use of more or lower energy usage on your shop floor, right? So you might sort of strategically target production at a given time to make use of these lower energy rates. Another great way to use or to deploy digital technology is AI, because you could use AI to either predict or avoid waste and scrap on the shop floor. So really the point is to use a lot of that technology you already have available and really work with the data to not only achieve operational excellence but also drive your sustainability initiatives. And at the end of the day, you need the data down the line for ESG reporting. I'll come onto that a little bit later, but that's incredibly important to not look at sustainability as a short-term investment, but as a long-term investment. Make use of the data, get started today, don't wait.
Thank you, Maggie. It's clear that sustainability is a topic on the front for many manufacturers, and it's encouraging how IFS is supporting this journey. Maggie, following on from this, one area at Unleashed we were asked about was how IFS is helping its users to use data to become more predictive. Could you explain some of the areas where we are doing this?
Sure. So another new capability that we developed as part of IFS Cloud is our AI-assisted weather forecast. And what we're doing there is helping our manufacturing customers to improve their forecasting accuracy. So we have basically developed an AI capability that is able to correlate weather patterns against previous sales and demand patterns. So a manufacturer who is very weather dependent, say somebody who makes, for example, ice cream or beer, and really depends on how good or bad the weather is, will definitely benefit from this AI-assisted weather forecast, and they can really then move their demand closer to production and also avoid a lot of waste and just really improve the accuracy to the point where we hear that our customers are improving their forecasting accuracy up to 75%. So it's a really critical way to drive that visibility into your value chain.
Thank you for explaining this, Maggie. It's great to see how IFS is helping manufacturers utilize data and turn it into actionable outcomes to improve their performance. Finally, we listened to a lot of our customers across all industries to discuss the global outlook for 2023 and the need to be more resilient. Would you be able to comment on what IFS is doing around the topic of resilience and also ensuring longevity for our customers?
Yes, if I can start with that. IFS Cloud is a very flexible product. It allows you to work across many companies, many sites, many warehouses, and all the parts within those warehouses. So you can then start looking for, if you have a shortage, you can start looking for stock in different places and planning for that so that you make the best use of what you've got. So that gives you that resilience. You can have different types of manufacture all running at the same time. You can change. You don't have to be all make to stock, all make to order. You can have different plants, different companies working in different ways. You can actually add over the top of, if you're a traditional make to forecast, make to stock, you can add in extra plans over the top. The flexibility is there for the customer to use without any intervention from an outside agency. The other thing is that because of the hierarchical nature, every part can have a plan. So traditional MRP would always order what you need when you need it. You can start to think about, well, those parts are always late or have a little bit of difficulty with that supplier's quality. So what you can then do is start to buffer those stocks. So you can put a safety stock level in, but a lot of companies don't like safety stock. You can use reorder point planning. You can use perhaps demand-driven MRP, which is a little bit more flexible, not so rigid, and it takes into account moving demand. So each part can have a plan. So you can pick out the expensive ones, you can pick out the ones that are traditionally difficult for you to get. So you can then plan each part.
So from a usability perspective, and if I may summarize this, we really want to give our customers that flexibility.
As much flexibility, right, as they can have, yeah.
And you know, the other sort of part of the answer is that, you know, we're going back to the notion of data that we discussed earlier on, and it's about giving our customers as much data as they need in the fastest fashion of time, if you will. So the idea here is to turn IFS Cloud into a strategic decision-making tool for our customers, so they can really have that end-to-end view of their data regardless of their role, and really you know, give them that information at the push of a button and draw their attention to any immediate actions or sort of events that they need to turn their focus on. So at the end of the day, it's about helping our customers become more proactive, predictive, rather than reacting to events. And in today's times that are shaken up by a lot of macroeconomic turbulence, having access to this information, being able to act very quickly is paramount. So yeah, it's all about sort of making IFS Cloud into a strategic decision-making tool to enable our customers succeed today, but also in the future.
Thank you both. It will be interesting to see how as 2023 progresses, if the requirements around business resilience evolve and how manufacturers respond to remain both profitable and meeting their own objectives. I hope you've listened to our IFS Unleashed key takeaways, and if you would like to learn more or get in touch with Maggie or Andy, you can reach us at ifs.com and get in touch with us today.